I'm just gonna sit here and arrange my cards while I wait for you guys to hop on with me. I hope that some of you are able to join me. I know that I did not announce this. I intentionally didn't announce it. I never know when I'm gonna be able to come on live. I had readings to do this morning, personal readings, and then one of them got pushed back. So now I can talk to you guys for a little bit. So I hope that you're gonna be able to hop on with me. I have these new cute little cards. They're Bob Ross. They're not oracle cards or anything. They're just playing cards, but I thought I'd pull them out and put them on the table as well. I think I'm gonna read a little bit today about Harry and Meghan. Yay, you guys' favorite. Good morning. Is it Andrea or Andrea? How are you? So Harry and Meghan just had their 2-year, wow, time flies, anniversary. So I was gonna read on that. I wasn't gonna read on that. And then I thought, well, it's interesting that, good morning, Cindy, that the Queen and the Palace and the royal family didn't comment, hi Leanne, on the anniversary. They put out no statement, no congratulatory anything, nothing at all. So I thought that was interesting. So I do want to read a little bit on Harry and Meghan. I'm not sure specifically, hi Kay, how to phrase it or what I really want to ask yet. I keep dreaming about Kate and William. Not anything specific, they just happen to be like hanging out in my dreams lately, so I don't know if that means anything, or I've just been reading a lot of articles, I don't know. So I kind of wanted to know what you guys want to know regarding Harry and Meghan. I'm not going to do deep state stuff or criminal activity or anything that's like super negative for me that I'll have to like clean the energy off me later. But other than that, hi Tracy. I'm glad you caught me live too. I apologize. I know that I never say when I'm going live, but I really never know when I'm going to go live. So here we are. I'll just shuffle for a minute. I'm starting out with the Golden Thread Tarot today just because I feel like it. High Priestess and the Tower. Very interesting energies. The silence of the family speaks volumes. Yeah, you're not kidding. That's very interesting. And I keep seeing these really weird PR articles about, you know, how they spent their anniversary. I don't understand why you would even put that out there. Who cares? My anniversary is coming up next week. Next week? Yeah, next week. We'll be married 11 years. Which sounds like forever. It makes me, I won't say it makes me feel old. I don't feel old, but it sounds like a really long time, but it hasn't felt like a really long time. If that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull some cards. Just trying to read y'all's comments down here too. Okay, so we'll just look at, to begin with, while I'm waiting for people to hop on, we'll look at energies for Harry on this side, and energies for Meghan on this side. I'll try to do it where you guys can see it too. So looking at Prince Harry, what can you tell me about his mental state or what's going on with him right now? I couldn't even get it out of my mouth, and I have Page of Pentacles, Four of Swords in reverse. So he's in a time of unrest. Page of Pentacles to me, for me personally, I know that everybody reads differently, is a money offer or a job offer. It's really immature energy as well, so it could be somebody who is really immature and they treasure money, you know, is the easiest way for me to say that. They think that money is very, very important, so that's kind of what they're after. It's what they hold up. The way this guy holds it up, he's either offering it to you, or in some readings for me, it feels like he's worshiping it almost, like my precious type of thing. Does that make sense? Like in Lord of the Rings. And then the Four of Swords in reverse. So Four of Swords is mental energy. I always get a lot of mental stuff with Harry. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying exactly that. So Four of Swords is a card of rest and meditation, right? Needing to take a break, needing to sort of step back from things and take a nap and then sort of recalibrate and see how you feel. And it's in the reverse for him. So not having that rest Either not being able to get that because your lifestyle doesn't allow it at this time. Could be something's keeping him up. I'll clarify these, but there's a need for rest, restorative sleep, meditation, quiet, quiet time. Don't we always say be quiet? One more for Harry, please. One more card for Prince Harry's energy at this time. Thank you. The Devil. The Devil card comes out every single time. So, addictions, feeling bound. This can be, something simple, mischievous energy. It's even a playful energy sometimes, but for me, it's playful energy that you joke around in a way that's hurtful, or it's playful in a way that's going to get you hurt. If you ever heard a story, kind of a tragic story about somebody that was just goofing off and they ended up really hurting themselves, really hurting someone else, passing away. It's that kind of energy. It's not funny. It's somebody that jokes in a way that's not funny. But it could be feeling bound. The traditional devil card has the devil up here and then the two people chained. This actually reminds me, because these look like Pac-Man ghosts on this card, right? You see this down at the bottom? This actually always reminds me of Ursula in The Little Mermaid when she's talking about the poor unfortunate souls, right? So this card for me in this deck means I made a deal with the devil. I made a deal with the devil, okay? And those deals never work out like we think that they're going to. They never go in our favor, and then we end up, like those mermen and mer people in Ursula's garden, right? For eternity. So that's really interesting. And maybe he's feeling that way. Maybe that's why he's not getting rest. Maybe because, there was some kind of greed there. I made a deal with the devil, and now I'm realizing this is not going to work out like I hoped, like I was promised, like I thought. Hi, everybody that's hopping on. I can't read all of your comments, but I'm so happy that you're here. Now I'm going to pull energies for Meghan on this side. Now, again, I'll try to do it where you guys can see the cards. I do not have the cards on my floor today. I had somebody say something to me, so I have a mat down. This is actually my yoga mat, and I'm reading a cool book. I should have brought it over here to show you guys. It's called Yoga for Witches, and she just uses the word witch in order to take the negative power away from that term. So if you don't consider yourself that's a witch, it's a really interesting book. If you want to follow me on Goodreads or something like that, you can see it on my books there. She sort of melds the tradition of yoga, which is a spiritual practice before we sort of westernized it and turned it into a physical or exercise practice. It's a spiritual practice, and it has a lot in common with other spiritual practices like Wicca, but really you don't have to be a witch to read it. I just think it's a very, very interesting book, so I would recommend. I saw the question about what cards to start with. I would recommend the Rider-Waite Tarot. These here, I just dropped one. The traditional tarot, okay? Because, I always say this, because they have the traditional images, and it's important, in my opinion, to learn the roots, okay? So to learn where tarot came from and the history of it. It was a French card game. Which it just amuses me endlessly, and then people started using it to tell fortunes. But to know those symbols and the keywords and all those things, I would start with the very original Rider-Waite, I think it's Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, and I can link it after the live, but you can find it on Amazon really easily. It's not expensive. I just got like a little mini deck, my first one, and learned with that. And I started journaling, so every day I would pull a couple of cards and then write down what intuitive hits I got from that, or what I felt like was the answer, or what that meant, or even, some days if I didn't know, I would just get out the booklet and write down, literally, like write down the definition of that. And I did that for 2 or 3 years before I started reading tarot. I had somebody say to me the other day, well, I'm not a tarot reader, and my first thought was, neither was I. I wasn't either until I was, okay? So if you feel like doing that, if you feel led to that, I encourage you to do it. Anything psychic or intuitive, I encourage you to do it. We all have gifts and abilities. I'm going to stop rambling now and pull some cards for Meghan. Judgment popped out. It's an interesting visual, though, in this deck. Can y'all see that? Like Angel of Death looking. And the other one, it's an angel that looks angelic, right? That comes from heaven. It's rebirth, renewal, hearing a calling, following a spiritual calling, your purpose in life, things like that. Second chances. And this one though, that angel looks scary to me, and it's a graveyard. It's a graveyard in the other one, but this is more like a zombies thing going on. Night of the Living Dead. Energies for Meghan. How is she feeling? What is she thinking at this time? Four of Cups in reverse. Interesting. So Harry's got a 4 in reverse and she's got a 4 in reverse. So something foundational, something stabilizing is on its head. So 4 of Cups in the upright, if I can pick it up, is about boredom. Can be about rejecting someone's love. Can be about taking someone or something for granted. It is in the reverse though. It's still not a super positive card for me unless it means that you're coming out of that energy. In the reverse, this looks like she's pouring out all of the cups. So instead of just taking the one thing for granted, I'm standing here pouring everything out onto the ground. I think I'm better than that, or I think, you know, this is not good enough. But again, I'll clarify these with another deck in a moment. One more card for Meghan, one more energy for Meghan, please. What else do we have going on for Ms. Markle? 6 of Cups. So 6 of Cups is about kids. In this deck, this is 2 rabbits. So it always makes me think doing it like rabbits, or multiplying like rabbits. I know I make reference to like the silliest things, guys, and I'm sorry, but it just is what it is. And right now, the visual that came to mind is that movie. It's a horrible movie from when I was a kid called Bebe's Kids. They don't die, they multiply. If you know what I'm talking about, you're probably laughing right now. So this makes me think of that movie, like all of a sudden there's lots of kids. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of an idea or a plan forming that has to do with twins or triplets or something like that next. Definitely a want, or it doesn't feel like a want in a maternal way, but a want for more children. Conversely, the 6 of Cups can talk about reminiscing on happy times or happy childhood, stopping to smell the roses, that kind of thing. But we will clarify. Let me read some of your comments. Hi, good morning. I'm so glad you guys are able to join me. All right, I'm going to clarify Harry's, and then I'll clarify Meghan's. I'm clarifying with the Wild Unknown deck. This is the second deck that I got. This is the first deck that I bought because I had to have it. Like, it spoke to me. And it's still, for me, one of the most striking decks. I love it when I'm asking about emotional things, because the emotions, let me just show you, are very colorful. Okay, and then there are some logic cards in this deck that are just super black and white. And I love that too, because sometimes you need to use your head and not your heart, right? So let me see if I can find one of those and I'll show you. So this one is Swords, 10 of Swords. Awful visual, but see, there's no emotion involved there. And I love that it's animals. Really, really beautiful cards. Okay, so we're gonna clarify for Harry this 4 of Swords in reverse. Clarify the 4 of Swords in reverse for Prince Harry's energy, please. Thank you. Okay. Harry's cards are talking. They just, like, they already know what I'm going to say, and they pop out. We don't do reversals on the Wild Unknown. I don't personally. The creator of the deck didn't intend it for that, so I tend to follow that kind of thing. So that's why I turned the Chariot over. So we have the Moon, Secrets, card of Pisces. This would sort of repeat that message that we got, that we're not sleeping, okay? This is being up at night. It's a fine line between genius and madness type of thing. If you look at this guy, he is in need of rest. He looks worn, he looks weary. He's drawn on this card with bags under his eyes. And haven't we seen Harry's appearance changing lately? If you've been watching any of those videos, or even some of the YouTubers here, you know, put up pictures of his appearance lately, it's not great, right? He looks maybe like he's ill. That can come from things like not sleeping. So this feels to me like I'm up at night considering things. It looks like it's an emotionless card too, but the emotions are actually the border around here, okay? in this, the guidebook that goes with this deck, it talks about that fine line that artists walk. When you're a painter, when you're a creator, when you're a musician, anything like that, you have these days and nights. You can go on benders, creative benders, not necessarily drugs even involved. And when you are almost in that like hallucinating state is when you get your greatest ideas, or you create your most incredible films, or whatever it is. So there's a thin line there between, right, genius and madness. So it does talk about that. But traditionally, the moon card talks about things being hidden, or not wanting things to be revealed, things that we do at nighttime in order to keep them hidden. You know, they're shrouded in darkness kind of thing. And I think that's interesting because on the other side of that, I'll get to this one in a minute, but on the other side of that, I have the Son of Pentacles. It's the Knight of Pentacles. It's Virgo energy, just like Harry is. And look, if we don't see him, head bowed, and it's nighttime, it's dark, just like here with the moon card. I feel that something is weighing heavily on him, heavily. Interesting, we have this pentacle here. It's like, in the beginning, sit and chat with me a moment, won't you? In the beginning, the Page of Pentacles, he's holding this pentacle. We talked about how this could represent someone who treasures money above all else. Like, I just want to have that. A greedy person, someone who, for them, family is not the thing that makes them happy. Money is the thing that makes them happy. Family, or, you know, whatever else. And so we talked about this deal with the devil. Okay, those poor unfortunate souls. The thing that comes from greed, or a desire that's sort of eating at you. Like, I want so badly to have this other life. I'll do anything. I'll sign it in blood. So when that happens, you know, it never really goes in our favor because the devil's a liar, right? So you can make a deal, but it's never going to go the way you expect, right? You're going to get tricked or fooled or whatever. Whatever he has to do, he's going to harvest that soul, right? So, I mean, I'm not talking at all about heaven and hell. I'm just saying, I'm speaking metaphorically, so please keep going with me. So then we have the moon, and we're talking about darkness and not being able to sleep, right? Worrying about things, secrets. Then we have this physical, this representation of this person at nighttime, awake at nighttime, but head bowed, okay? Sad, regretful. The moon is present here in this card, but what's inside the moon? That thing that I thought was most important. That vision I thought I wanted my life to be. That thing that I signed my life away for. It looks like regret. It looks like regret. In a really sorrowful way. The Chariot is in the middle. In this deck, so the Chariot talks about victory after a battle, triumph. Sort of, it's a lot like the Six of Wands card, like you're coming back into the city gates and you're being applauded and you're being recognized because you're the general that helped win the war. It's that kind of energy, but it's interesting that I use this deck to clarify, because this Chariot talks about your inner warrior, talks about perseverance, talks about persistence, talks about if I can just make it through this. It's gumption, right? It's that inner thing. You may not be obviously strong. You may not be a power lifter, but you're a power lifter on the inside, okay? Nobody knows what all I'm carrying around with me. That's what this feels like. The moon is here again. The moon is here on the third eye, and also, you know, on the mind. So this is what I'm thinking about. The sun is eclipsed on this card. And the Chariot, the horse, is wearing a pentagram, okay, or a pentacle. So let's tie these all together and say, I wanted this thing. I was foolish. I was young. I was immature. I wanted this thing above everything else. I did whatever I had to do to get it. Now I'm up at night thinking about what a bad idea this was, and it's a weight around my neck. I have it, but it's like I'm chained to it and I'm trying to run from it. And I just got goosebumps all over my body because I didn't expect that to like come together and fit as well as that did. That's amazing. And a little sad. That's a sad story. Sad story. I'm going to clarify Meghan's. Hi. Really need to do something about my volume. Well, Pam, if you will give me some suggestions. I have tried 2 different microphones. I have tried some different software. If you're listening on a desktop, I can't help you. I can't hear YouTube videos on a desktop or a laptop either. I can hear them on my phone though. So I'm sorry for any of you who can't hear me, but I'm not gonna yell because I don't do that. It doesn't feel good to me to try to yell at you guys. And it seems like the only people that have an issue with the volume are the ones not listening on their phones. So if you could try to listen on a smartphone or a smart device, that might help. But yeah, you guys stop emailing me about the volume. I'm so sorry. I'm doing everything I can. I've tried a lot of different things. Nothing's worked so far. Have a good day. Namaste. All right. So I want to clarify specifically this 4 of Cups for Meghan, but if any of the cards fall out like they did for Harry, we'll just keep going with them. What is this 4 of Cups in reverse for Meghan? What is the 4 of Cups in reverse? I'm a little bit shook by Harry's reading, I have to tell you. I'm a little, yikes. That's heavy. That's heavy. And it's easy for us to say, and I know some of you guys are more compassionate and some of you think that he made his bed and he should lie in it. And I agree with both sides of that. But I think if you've never been in a position where you've made a horrible mistake, you rushed into something and then you can't even have known what you didn't know about it. And then you were like, oh my God, what do I do? You know, if you've ever been in a situation like that, you wouldn't want that for anybody else, no matter what kind of mistakes they've made, no matter how arrogant they are. It's not a way to live. In fact, some people are crushed under the weight of things like that. So it's not something you would ever want for someone, and it feels very heavy to me. I feel heavy. What is this 4 of Cups in reverse for Meghan? Father of Cups, King of Cups. Could represent Prince Charles, could represent William, could represent Charles and William, could represent some other male in her life, to which I think there would be, could be her father, her actual dad. And if that is clarifying, we have the 4 of Cups, and we talked about earlier, for those of you who maybe weren't here, pouring out all of this love, okay? Instead of, this is what I'm getting from this, okay? Instead of being taken one person for granted, it feels like if I can't have it exactly like I want, I don't want any of it. It's like, I keep getting like champagne type of thing. It's like if you're giving someone like the very best that you have, but it's not exactly like they want it, and they set it on fire, they pour it out right in front of your face. Just really ugly, nasty energy. And to clarify that, I get the Father of Cups, the King of Cups. What else for Meghan? Any other clarifying cards or energies for Meghan? Son of Cups, interesting. So that's the Knight of Cups. I think that these two are related because they're father and son energy. Okay? Because, and the only difference really between them, besides that one is dark and one is light, is that the King of Cups, you can't see anything in his cup. He's very, very good at keeping a lid on his emotions, okay? The Son of Cups hasn't quite learned that yet. He's got them in the cup. He's contained them. But you can see a little bit the emotions sort of rising up there. So every now and then he gets angry, or every now and then he gets emotional. But he's learning. Okay, and the Star came out. I don't know if I dropped that or what, but we'll keep it out. And I'm going to get one more. The Star is a card of healing, but in this deck in particular, it's more about being a celebrity. It's about being honored, recognized, celebrated. Some people say for this particular deck, this is about being a star. It's that simple. I want to be a star, okay? One more card for Meghan, please. What can you tell me for Meghan? Thank you guys for hanging in with me. I feel like I'm going a little bit long and just chatting a bunch, but I'm glad that you're here. I hope that you're all doing really well. I know I always say that, but it's so true. I hope that you're doing well. You're feeling good. The don't want to tell me anything. Nothing else is coming out for Meghan. That's what I've got right now. It's like I'm pouring out. This is funny. Okay, so for Harry over here, Four of Swords in reverse, sleepless nights. I'm not able to rest. Okay, almost like I'm on a hamster wheel. Like I just physically, mentally, emotionally, I am exhausted. This guy on this card is drawn with these bags under his eyes. Okay. For Meghan, we got the Four of Swords. No, I'm good. I'm good. Peace? Yeah, I got that. Sleep? I'm doing good. That's funny to me. That's funny to me. Because this is the Four of Swords in this deck is about knowing you have all these potential dangers around you, potential threats. You know that this could happen, but you're still fine. You're still able to sleep at night or go about your business because you know that you're protected. You know that everything's going to be okay. The lamb is funny to me too, just because it's a innocent creature. All right, anything else for Harry? Anything else for Harry, please, before we get going? The Lovers and the Two of Pentacles. He, I think, is still trying, if you can believe this, to figure out how he got here. How did this happen? She was my soulmate, you know. This is also, though, because this is a card of Gemini, and also because this guy is juggling, this could literally be pointing to bipolar, split personalities. I'm not saying anything negative about those particular mental disorders. I'm just saying it could feel like you are literally one person and then 5 minutes later you're a completely other person, and I do not know what to do with that. It's so confusing. It feels like confusion for Harry. Wait, what? Because we were written in the stars, we were destined, we're Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and then all of a sudden, wait, what? Gosh. And for Meghan, final energies for Meghan, please. Oh, guys, so the devil comes out again. He's in reverse. Ten of Swords in reverse. So feeling unburdened, feeling light, feeling free. This is just a very nothing bothers me type of reading over here. I hear the word resurrection. I just looked down at this card. I'm hearing resurrection. So it could be of career, could be of my life. Really being nasty to some people, though, to their faces. Knowing that I'm not in danger for some reason because I'm protected. There's something here about children, wanting more children possibly, wanting to be a star. She's feeling unbound, where Harry over here is feeling like the Ursula situation, right? We're feeling unbound, we're feeling unburdened. So, really cocky energy, which is not super surprising, but there you go. I'm just reading y'all's comments now. London says hello. Hi, Sarah. I saw that video too. The lady who was at the golf tournament who, when they said something about Meghan having a baby, she started laughing, and I was like, is she drunk? And then she kept talking, and she said, well, you know, she mentioned that Meghan already had a baby. And they didn't edit that part out. I don't know if everybody else thought maybe she was drunk or she was going to come across as drunk, so it was fine. She did correct herself. She brought it back in and said something else instead. But I have watched that video a couple of times, and she made it sound like she's already a great mom. And I was like, what? I wonder if that's true. Now, some people have said that the girl that is Samantha's daughter is Meghan's daughter. I don't know. She doesn't look like her to me. I don't know what I think about that. You can have kids and them not look like you. I'm not saying that that's not a possibility. I'm just saying, before I go, and I do have to go soon because I have to go have lunch today. I have a lunch date. I got these cards. I actually got them for my mom, and then I decided to keep them for myself. No, I just haven't seen her, so I'm playing around with them, but because she's in another state, so I haven't been able to see my mom in a long time. And I wanted to see what these were like. They're Bob Ross cards. They're not Oracle cards. They're just playing cards. But Bob Ross, I love. Who doesn't love Bob Ross? He's so positive and so happy. So they look like this on the back. Everything about these makes me smile. I got them off Amazon. They were not expensive, like $7 or $8, so if you guys want to go check them out. But every card has a sweet little message. Something that Bob Ross actually said while he was painting is on each card. So you have to have dark in order to show light, just like in life. So I've been using these as oracle cards for myself, like if I am, you know, in need of like some kind of inspiration or a pick-me-up, and I just don't want to go through the whole thing of sitting with my cards, or I don't have time, I'll just pull a Bob Ross message. Oh, and they're just, did you ever think you could just take a great big old brush and make all these beautiful little trees? You really can. You can take a mess and turn it into something wonderful. And if you don't believe me, you have got to believe Bob Ross about it, right? Right? They're just delightful. And yes, I'm just kind of in a silly mood today, guys, but recommend those if you just want something to play around with. And then, you know, if you don't want to use them for oracle cards, you can play cards with them. You can play gin rummy or whatever with them. Gin rummy, not gin rubby. I guess if you play gin rubby, that is your business. Don't tell me about it. Anytime you learn, you gain. I can put that right here on Harry's side. They're so great. I wish I could show you all of them, but literally every card has a different message on it. This one says, just go out and talk to a tree. Make friends with it. Well, sure, because who doesn't do that, right? Go out and talk to a tree. Make friends with your tree. Hug your tree. And some of y'all out there are thinking, you know what, if I have to stay inside any longer, I'm going to start hugging trees and my furniture, inanimate objects, just to get some affection. Hang in there, guys. It's going to get better. I know it is. I hope that some of you, if you've watched the video that we did previously, lean to the left, guys. Lean towards love and not fear. We are coming out of this, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be different, but it's going to be okay. See? This is not something you should labor over or worry about. Just enjoy it. If painting does nothing else, it should make you happy. Agree with that. And I'm suddenly feeling inspired to paint. I may paint today. I love you guys so much. I'm going to go through and read your comments after I get this video posted. If you have additional questions about Harry and Meghan, send them to me in my email, and I'll do another live like this. I don't know what just happened. It turned red and then turned green, so if it skipped, I'm sorry. I was saying if you have another question about Harry and Meghan, I will do that for you. Send them to me in an email, leave them in a comment on this video, and my next video, I'll try to have like a list of what you guys want to know, as long as it's not dark energy, not going to talk about missing kids or murderous things or any of that stuff, because that's not good for me personally. But I love you guys. I'm so glad to be back. I'm happy that you could join me today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day yourself and a great weekend. And I guess that's it. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.